to the protests that are taking place at the Red Fort in the national capital, where you've got Congress leaders gathering for a massive torch protest, and already chaotic scenes playing out as several senior Congress leaders are being detained right now, not being allowed to stage this protest outside the Red Fort in the national capital. Scenes and images coming in right now of the massive security deployment. As soon as Congress leaders gathered there, they've immediately been taken into custody. The cops making it very clear permission hasn't been granted for this kind of an agitation. There is meant to be a mega torch march, a mashal march, as the Congress put it, outside the Red Fort in the national capital over the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. And these images that you see here, senior Congress leader Harish Rawat being taken into custody, being detained by the police as they continue to chant slogans. We understand that effigies were also burnt as these leaders gathered there, but they are now, as you can see on your screens, being taken away from the spot outside the Red Fort. They're clearing the area immediately because there's no permission, it looks like, being granted for this kind of an agitation. Scores of Congress workers have gathered there in an attempt to lash out and to take on the Modi government over the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. Let's play out for you that particular sequence of Harish Rawat as he's speaking to the media while being detained.
Media please,
And we're cutting across to live images coming in right now from the national capital, where Prime Minister Modi is inaugurating the BJP swanky new residential complex as well as auditorium. This is in fact right next to and right in front of the BJP headquarters on Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg in Delhi. This complex that you see on your screens that the Prime Minister is unveiling right now will be used for big party meetings for senior campaign leaders of the party. This is Prime Minister Narendra Modi there unveiling the residential complex, accompanied by BJP President JP Nadda, Home Minister Amit Shah, the who's who of the BJP, currently present for this grand unveiling. You've got, in fact, all of them present for this inauguration event. And this building, this residential complex, which also houses a massive auditorium, is right opposite the BJP headquarters. Now, in fact, the Prime Minister, we're being told, is also going to be participating in the Bhumi Pujan program for the BJP Delhi State Office. That's also, in fact, very close to the BJP headquarters. These are the live images that we're getting to you right now of BJP Chief JP Nadda and Prime Minister Narendra Modi making their way through the new residential complex, unveiling this massive building along with the auditorium that has been, in fact, constructed right opposite the BJP headquarters. You can see all the senior BJP leaders in attendance for this particular moment. We understand that all of your high-stake meetings for elections, your massive party gatherings, they will take place right now in this residential complex. So get set to see a lot of live images that come in from this residential complex in the run-up to 2024. So this will also have an auditorium, which is what it looks like the Prime Minister is making his way towards, accompanied there by BJP President JP Nadda. The entire area is packed, the hall completely full with BJP leaders, all of whom have gathered. It's expected that the Prime Minister could also speak at this event. Earlier today, there was a huddle of the BJP in which, in fact, the Prime Minister also, in fact, directed the BJP on how to take forward the election fight. But let's focus on these live images of the Bhumi Pujan that is going to be kicking off. This is for the state BJP office in the national capital. Let's in fact see if there's an audio that we can cut across to right now. All right, we'll connect with our reporter in just a bit and get you those live updates that are coming in right now from the venue. This is the residential complex of the BJP, right opposite the BJP headquarters. And you can see that the Prime Minister there is taking part in the puja that's being conducted right now in the premises. Aishwarya Paliwal is joining us with more details on this. Aishwarya, a brand new swanky residential complex for the BJP. We can see the Prime Minister right now conducting the puja at the location.
Well, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister Amit Shah and all the top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, along with some of the very enthusiastic, Karyakartas, as you can see in the back, the chants that are taking place, all these chants are taking place because the Karyakartas at the moment are very, very happy. Let me tell you what's taking place inside the building that you see right behind me with the Party flags. That's the building in which the Prime Minister at the moment is, and this is a swanky new building, Akshita, right opposite the main headquarters of the BJP on the DDU mark. So a very prominent location. The chants, Akshita, if you can hear, are the chants from the Karyakartas, the BJP Karyakartas who are present at the spot. They are chanting Narendra Modi and they are also chanting Bharat Mata Ki Jai. And inside is the place where, the top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Akshita, are sitting. So definitely this is a milestone because this entire building is for the people who work for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the Prime Minister, in fact, when he came inside, he also met the people who built this building. So that's also something that the Prime Minister did. And in just a couple of minutes from now, Akshita, we will see the puja taking place. This is a swanky new buildings. From what we understand, there are close to 50 rooms where people will be allowed to come and stay. And apart from that, there will also be a lot of centers inside this building, bang opposite the headquarters of the BJP, Akshita.
Okay, so the puja right now, Aishwarya, we can tell you, is happening as we speak. You can see the Prime Minister as well as BJP President JP Nadda there taking part in the Bhumi Pujan that's underway. We're also hearing, Aishwarya, that besides this residential complex, a brand new Delhi BJP office is also being inaugurated. This is for the state BJP.
Well, because, the old office was a little away from where the main headquarters is, and that's the reason, keeping in mind the big 2025 elections, that's the time when there will be an election in the national capital. So keeping all those things in mind, the BJP has now decided to give space in this very complex to Delhi BJP. And also, why it's very important, Akshita, because the main office of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the swanky headquarters, is just across the road from here. So everything will be close by, and all this is also being done keeping the big 2024 elections in mind, so that everything is very closely knit. That's the reason. I don't know, Akshita, if you can hear, the chants are taking place right behind me. A lot of Karyakartas inside, chanting Prime Minister Narendra Modi's name, and the top brass of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the top leaders, including Home Minister Amit Shah, also inside at the moment. And the puja has begun. We expect the puja to go on for almost half an hour. After that, the Prime Minister will speak with the top leaders, and then, slowly this building finally will be opened. From tomorrow, we will see work taking place inside the swanky building in the national capital. All these things are being done, keeping the big 2024 elections in mind, Akshita.
So if you've seen the BJP headquarters in the national capital, it's a huge, imposing building in Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg, and bang opposite it is now this residential complex, this massive auditorium. For the bigger events, we're being told, Aishwarya, when senior leaders gather, when you have these BJP nationwide meets that happen, that will now be shifted from the BJP headquarters to this auditorium and residential complex that the Prime Minister is inaugurating. Aishwarya, if you can hear me, right opposite the BJP headquarters where you're standing is where this residential complex is. And what we're hearing is that the mega party huddles in the run-up to 2024 is now going to be shifted from the BJP headquarters and will take place in this massive auditorium.
Well, actually, definitely, all these things are being done, keeping the big 2024 elections in mind. From what we understand, apart from the rooms, there are also places where research will take place. So definitely what the BJP is doing, and we did see how the Prime Minister also spoke about just 400 days left, almost 2 months back. So the BJP very well on war footing, and that's the reason why we are seeing all these kind of things being done. And the reason why this particular spot was chosen, this spot is just, opposite the BJP headquarters. That's the reason why we are seeing this swanky new building. Also, from what we understand, a lot of tech things will also be done in this building. That's the reason why Prime Minister himself has been roaming about. In fact, when he stepped in from building to building, he went inside. There are 4 buildings, let me tell you, Akshita, the one which is right behind me, the big one which is there, and there's another building, the one where there are almost 50 rooms. Now, the 50 rooms are kept because there are many people who will want to work for the Bharatiya Janata Party. That's what the party at the moment believes, that there'll be people from across the country who would want to come and stay in the national capital. Because people want to come and stay, that's the reason why an entire building, almost 50 single rooms have been made for the people who will come from across the country, and they will start working for the Bharatiya Janata Party just before 2024 elections. Keeping all these things in mind is the reason why we are seeing, the puja also taking place and Prime Minister himself taking out time and coming to this swanky new building. Akshita.
Very true. And Aishwarya giving us details about this massive complex. 50 rooms in all, besides this massive auditorium in which you see all of the BJP leaders currently seated as well. Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with the BJP chief performing the puja. After that, they're going to be making their way onto the stage there at the auditorium. And then you're going to be perhaps hearing what the Prime Minister also has to say about his vision for the BJP going forward. Very crucial messaging, no doubt, with in fact the 2024 elections, with the state polls also this year, Karnataka elections, of course, just about a month away. So this BJP complex is going to be used for a lot of election huddles. Have no doubt in your mind, this is just the beginning of many more such images that we'll be beaming for you live from the BJP residential complex right opposite the BJP headquarters as well. This will be used for massive nationwide meets that the BJP occasionally holds as well. Their election huddles for which their leadership also travels down from different states to the national capital. That's why you've got the who's who of the BJP right now seated in that auditorium. And outside, BJP cadre have gathered in great numbers to celebrate this moment and also join the Prime Minister in inaugurating this massive complex. So at the BJP headquarters, you've got huge crowds that have gathered right now. Aishwarya, why don't you speak to some of the cadre there about what really the mood is like on ground?
Well, Akshita, I would have loved to do that, but unfortunately, for the media, there's a closed enclosure, and the people who have been called the Karyakartas are on the other side because of very strict protocol. We are not allowed to move outside the area which has been given to us. But, I'll ask Sachin to pan and to show you on the other side. You see all the people, and there's a big screen, Akshita, which has been put up because even the Karyakartas are not allowed to go inside where the puja at the moment is taking place. So the Karyakartas also at the moment, Akshita, are seeing what's taking place. The puja is being witnessed by all the Karyakartas who have come on the big screen, and the chants that you are hearing, Akshita, are of the Karyakartas who have turned up in large numbers to witness this new swanky building of the BJP. Unfortunately for the media at the moment, Akshita, because of the protocol, we have this enclosure where we are standing, because of which we cannot go on to the other side. But a lot of Karyakartas, let me tell you, Akshita, on the other side, and the chants that you hear, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, Prime Minister, chants for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, all these things are being done at the moment. And also on the screen, Akshita, we can see the puja, at the moment still taking place, Prime Minister taking part in this puja. From what we understand at the moment, the puja will continue for almost 15 to 20 minutes, and then the Prime Minister will speak with the top brass and all the leaders of the BJP and speak about the upcoming elections and also what needs to be done for the big 2024 elections. Akshita.
There was also a similar huddle that happened earlier today, Aishwarya, in which the Prime Minister also speaking to the BJP leaders, to the senior leadership, sent out a message of what he believes should be the agenda for the BJP in the run-up to the 2024 election. So I think after this pujan also, after the Bhumi Pujan that you see on your screens, when he interacts with senior leaders, when he interacts with all the BJP workers gathered there, it's going to be a similar message that he sends across.
Well, definitely, we are also seeing what's taking place in the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha every day. So that's also something, Akshita, that the Prime Minister will be speaking with the top leaders. How to go about things, in the next couple of days is also something that they will be focusing on. The elections that will take place at the year end, the, 3 very crucial states, that's also something that we understand Prime Minister will be speaking with. And a special emphasis, is being done on the OBCs. That's also something that the Prime Minister will be speaking with the leaders. We understand there will be a lot of leaders, from the OBC, which are at the moment inside. The Prime Minister will also speak with them because it's not just the Hindus that the Bharatiya Janata Party, Akshita, at the moment is looking at. They are looking at making sure that there is a rainbow of voters for the Bharatiya Janata Party for the elections this year and also the big elections in 2024. All those things will be discussed, and obviously it's a happy occasion for the BJP, a swanky new building, new rooms. So this will also be used by the Prime Minister and also by Amit Shah, Home Minister Amit Shah. Also, he reached a couple of minutes early and then, he went, strolled around the building, saw what took place, and then Amit Shah, in fact, briefed Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We saw JP Nadda also along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So the top brass, very happy at the moment with the kind of building that has come up. And the way to go forward, because for the BJP, it is less than 400 days now, Akshita, and they are on a war footing. They want to make sure. We have seen how some of the top leaders of the BJP have made claims that there is a possibility they might get on their own 350 or maybe 400 seats this time. That's the mission with which the BJP is going. So all those things will be discussed in detail. And since all the top leaders of the BJP at the moment are present inside, after the Bhumi Pujan, we will see the Prime Minister holding some kind of an informal meeting with the leaders and speaking about what needs to be done next. Akshita.
And these are live images that we're showing you right now. The Bhumi Puja is complete. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and JP Nadda have made their way onto the stage at this new residential complex, at this auditorium as well. You can see that there are, in fact, senior BJP leaders who are currently on the stage along with the Prime Minister. We are going to be cutting across live for you and getting those latest updates. You can see, in fact, that Home Minister Amit Shah is also on stage. You've got JP Nadda, Nitin Gadkari, all of them there, the senior most BJP leaders who've come together there for this particular inauguration. And let's get you these live images. You can see the inauguration now taking place with the traditional lighting of the lamp. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with senior Margdarshaka of the BJP, Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi on stage. JP Nadda now lighting the lamp, as is the tradition. Next is Home Minister Amit Shah. Let's cut across live.
गायन होगा। श्रीमती शबाना रहमान गायन करेंगी। आप सभी से आग्रह है खड़े होकर वंदे मातरम का गायन करें। वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, सुजलाम सुफलाम मलयज शीतलाम शस्य श्यामलाम मातरम वंदे मातरम शुभ्र ज्योत्स्ना पुलकित यामिनी फुल्लकुसुमिता द्रुमदल शोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुर भाषिणी सुखदाम वरदाम मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम। भारत माता की, भारत माता की। हमारी संस्कृति में है, हम वरिष्ठ जनों का सम्मान करते हैं किसी भी शुभ कार्यक्रम में। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के, युग पुरुष प्रधानमंत्री जी के सम्मान के लिए विश्व की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष माननीय नड्डा जी से आग्रह करूंगी कि वो अंग वस्त्र और पुष्प गुच्छ देकर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का सम्मान करें। करतल ध्वनि से स्वागत करिए। दिल्ली प्रदेश के अध्यक्ष वीरेंद्र सचदेवा जी से आग्रह है कि हमारी पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष माननीय नड्डा जी का स्वागत करें अंग वस्त्र और पुष्प गुच्छ देकर। हमारे पूर्व अध्यक्ष और पूर्व मंत्री वयोवृद्ध नेता मुरली मनोहर जोशी जी के स्वागत के लिए प्रदेश के महामंत्री हर्ष मल्होत्रा जी से आग्रह करूंगी कि अंग वस्त्र और पुष्प गुच्छ देकर माननीय मुरली मनोहर जी का स्वागत करें। करतल ध्वनि से स्वागत करिए हमारे वरिष्ठ गणों का। राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष और वर्तमान गृह मंत्री जिन्होंने एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के स्वप्न को साकार किया है, माननीय अमित शाह जी के स्वागत के लिए मैं आग्रह करूंगी जयप्रकाश जी को, जो पूर्व मेयर हैं दिल्ली के। राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष और वर्तमान परिवहन मंत्री जिन्होंने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का जाल पूरे देश में बिछा दिया है, माननीय नितिन गडकरी जी के स्वागत के लिए मैं आग्रह करूंगी प्रदेश के उपाध्यक्ष राजीव बब्बर जी से। विकासवाद को सेंटर में लाने वाले और देश के विकास की अवधारणा को नई परिभाषा देने वाले सर्वसमावेशी समृद्ध भारत के निर्माण को संकल्पबद्ध माननीय युग पुरुष वैश्विक नेता मोदी जी से आग्रह करूंगी, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से निवेदन करूंगी कि केंद्रीय कार्यालय विस्तार का डिजिटली लोकार्पण करें। बजाकर स्वागत करिए इस ऐतिहासिक पल का। केंद्रीय कार्यालय विस्तार के पर एक फिल्म का प्रस्तुतिकरण है 5 मिनट की, उस फिल्म का अभी प्रस्तुतिकरण चालू है। आज हम सब सहभागी हैं उस ऐतिहासिक पल के। एक छोटी फिल्म है इस
और विचारों का
विस्तार का।
पार्टी की यात्रा में कितने ही कठिन पड़ाव आए, संघर्ष का दौर चला।
So, film currently being played there at the BJP residential complex. We'll continue getting you those updates and much more on the other side of a very short break.
ईडी, सीबीआई, इनकम टैक्स जैसी एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है और लगातार विपक्ष के नेताओं को इस पर निशाना बनाया जा रहा है। इस पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
ये सारी एजेंसियां, कोई एजेंसी कोर्ट के ऊपर नहीं है। किसी भी नोटिस को भी आप कोर्ट में चैलेंज कर सकते हैं, एक। किसी भी एफआईआर को कोर्ट में चैलेंज कर सकते हैं, दो। और किसी भी चार्जशीट को भी कोर्ट में चैलेंज कर रहे हैं, तीन। भाई कोर्ट में जाने की जगह यहां पर हो हल्ला कर क्या होगा? और बहुत हमारी पार्टी में तो कम है, उनकी पार्टी में ढेर सारे अच्छे वकील हैं।
Traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political black.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
The story of Lakshmi is a source of inspiration. Despite frugal means, Lakshmi has built a business she's proud of. But it did not come easy. After working in a wide array of jobs, Lakshmi got headlong into the dry cleaning and ironing business. She now caters to over 300 families.
ये हमारा जो प्रोफेशन है वो फैमिली बिजनेस है। मेरे हस्बैंड प्राइवेट सेक्टर में जॉब करते थे। जब लॉकडाउन लगा तो उनकी वो जॉब छूट गई थी। तो ये फैमिली बिजनेस था, हाथ का हुनर था, तो मैंने एक बार बाहर आजमाने की कोशिश की। शुरू में 16 किलोमीटर ड्राइव करके जाना बहुत काफ़ी ऐसा लगता था, पता नहीं कितना दूर जंगल में आना पड़ रहा है।
With all her hard work and dedication, Lakshmi soon took a shop on rent in a housing complex in Jaipur. She has employed 3 people to help her. Lakshmi has not only managed to build a profitable business, she has also given hope and aspirations to her children.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि मम्मी पापा दोनों काम करते हैं हमारे लिए, और मेरा भाई और मैं मतलब अच्छे से पढ़ पाते हैं उस वजह से। मम्मी और पापा बिज़नेस करते हैं और इतना दूर जाते हैं, तो हमें बहुत सपोर्ट मिलता है उन दोनों से।
Lakshmi's elder son is pursuing BTech and dreams of joining the Indian Navy after graduation. Her younger son plans to open a cafe.
39-year-old Lakshmi is no less than a superwoman for her family. Despite frugal means and the initial hardship, through her grit and perseverance, Lakshmi has managed to put the family business on the path to progress and given her children the hope and the aspiration to dream big. With camera person Nikhil Devankur Vadhavan in Jaipur for India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
The all-new Red Dark Edition by Tata Motors.
Let's get you, in fact, the latest updates on the massive protest that's taking place outside the Red Fort in Delhi over Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. Congress leaders have hit the streets, and you see those images on your screens of all of the leaders being detained, including senior Congress leader Harish Rawat, who's been taken into custody. Congress has now tweeted saying dictators scared of Satyagraha, and that's why our workers are being detained.
ये लोकतंत्र की हत्या है। हमको मशाल जुलूस नहीं निकालने दिया गया। हमने मशालें जलाई, अपने कपड़े निकाल के रुमालें लगा करके मशालें जलाई, जिनको पुलिस ने बलात् बुझाने का काम किया। मगर हम दिल की मशाल जला करके जो है ये जहां ले जाएं, जो भी जुल्म करे, इस जुल्म से लड़ेंगे। भारत का प्रतिपक्ष जिंदाबाद, राहुल गांधी जिंदाबाद।
Ashutosh Mishra is joining us live right now from outside the Red Fort. Ashutosh, take us through what's happening there. We can see the multiple Congress leaders have now been detained.
You know, it's totally high voltage drama. The Congress workers, senior leaders plan to carry out a protest here, a mashal protest, a torch protest at Delhi's Red Fort. But much before they could reach, the Delhi police barricaded this entire area and prevented all of them from reaching at least 200 meters away from the Red Fort main. There you now see who's being detained is Ajay Rai, the former Congress chief of Uttar Pradesh. Now he's being detained. So far we have seen JP Agrawal being detained. Harish Rawat, the former Uttarakhand chief minister, has been detained, and around 100 of these Congress workers, one after one, being detained. Everyone who tried to reach to the Red Fort area. A few minutes ago we had P. Chidambaram, the former home minister, here. Of course, he wasn't allowed to reach to Red Fort. Then he left. Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury, another Congress leader from West Bengal. So many member of parliaments, including Kerala, they all are here. And everyone now there you see being detained. We are beaming live images from Red Fort, where the Congress planned to carry out a torch protest over the current issue revolving around Rahul Gandhi. And as we see the protests triggering from street to parliament, there you see these Congress leaders are being detained. In fact, they tried to lit the torch, but clearly there was no permission from the Delhi police. And of course, Red Fort area, you cannot carry out such protests. There are usually no permission given. But for now, since police barricaded, there is a massive traffic, totally jam-packed, choked this entire area. In fact, the people who are roaming around and the plans to visit this particular stretch, they are using this particular stretch to going home. Clearly, they should avoid, because this is totally jam-packed because of the multi-level barricading placed by Delhi police. But for now, you see in these images, high voltage drama. Ajay Rai Lallu, the former UP Congress chief, is being detained. Another side, look at this, how these barricading have been placed. Multi-level barricading is being done by Delhi police. The CRPF company has been placed here, and of course, there you see, this is the huge. In fact, many of these buses who were taking these Congress workers, supporters and leader to the nearby police station, these workers clearly obstructed even the police buses. They literally resisted and protested, and they did not allow these buses to go. There you see, these leaders have been now being taken by Delhi police. So this entire stretch you see, many leaders from many parts of the country, the Congress senior leaders, who tried to reach at this pocket. Of course, there was one information that Priyanka Gandhi will be reaching here, Mallikarjun Kharge. But before anyone, those top leaders, those senior most leaders could reach here from the party, here already the detention begins from Delhi police. There you see these images, the Congress workers now being detained, have been taken to the police station.
Permission denied, Ashutosh? Was permission denied for this protest?
Unfolding at Delhi's Well, of course, since the permission was denied, and of course they informed the police, it wasn't about seeking a permission to carry out protests at Red Fort. Remember, this is a totally busiest, one of the most busiest stretch, and usually there is no permission given to carry out a protest or a torch protest from Red Fort to, the town hall area, which was sought by the Congress party. And because of that, looking at the protest, this is one of the most busiest road. Delhi police barricaded this entire stretch, and because of this barricading, more than an hour, there have been literally massive traffic. Now they're just opening one of these stretch and gradually, of course, easing out the traffic. But clearly the Delhi police did not allow any of these Congress leaders or workers to go to the Red Fort. So of course, the police did not allow them to carry out protests, the torch protests for now. So of course we see as the protesters now being gradually evacuated in these buses. They are being detained. They are being taken to the nearby police station. So gradually we will see this stretch gonna be open, of course, for the traffic. Soon vehicular movement. But for now you see this is totally stalled. If I could just beam out these images from here, there you see the traffic. This total stretch is now jam-packed, and of course the protest from here where we are at the moment, just 200 meters where there is a main gate of the Red Fort area usually, which is the place of entry and which is usually believed to be for the gathering. But since the gathering wasn't permitted by Delhi police official, there you see the CRP, the senior most official, the DCP, the area ACP, everyone here, and all they just prevented from these Congress leaders and workers to reach at Red Fort area. Now what we see, almost the protest is now over, since most of these leaders have been either detained or they have gone back home. Now the police is just expediting this evacuation process, the detention process. Everyone is around here now being taken away by the Delhi police. Akshita.
Ashutosh Mishra there reporting from the ground and getting us all of those latest updates. You can see all of the senior Congress leaders who are now being detained as we speak, as permission was denied for this particular protest. But then if permission was denied, Ashutosh, the Delhi police will then pass the buck and put the blame on the Congress, saying we didn't give permission and yet you chose to gather here outside Red Fort.
Well, usually we see, the section 144 is often used by the law enforcement agencies when it comes to the gathering or to carry out protests. And as I said, the Red Fort, this particular stretch is one of the most busiest. We have the very famous Chandni Chowk market here, Chavdi Bazaar here, Kashmiri Gate, all these connectivity areas. So usually there is no permission to carry out a protest. And since there was no permission, usually we see many other places, if you seek a permission, you remember all opposition parties were trying to march from Parliament to Enforcement Directorate Office. Section 144 was imposed. There was no permission. So clearly that is one tool that the police agency used, because there was no permission to carry out march. They were contained at this almost 200 meters from the main gate of the Red Fort area by putting these barricades, multi-level barricading at both sides. So they were quite confined and restricted at one particular stage. So they see the most of now these very few leaders have left, since most of these workers and other leaders being detained. So of course they are still reluctant, and they still want to reach Red Fort area carrying out the torch rally, the torch protest, Mashal Julus. But since the permission wasn't given, the Delhi police did not even allow them to reach. Though the very few now I can see carrying out a banner and poster in support of Rahul Gandhi. So more than you see the carry out any specific protest, what it is seen as a symbolic protest, that you are raising voice against the government, you are raising voice over the particular issue that you were raising. And moreover, this symbolism comes out when you see the unity of all your party leaders together. No matter at very other occasion you've been criticizing certain policies, but when it comes to the Rahul Gandhi, his disqualification, asking him to vacate bungalow. So this entire issue that surrounding Rahul Gandhi, there we see quite unity not only within the Congress party, but also even the arch rivals like the TMC, like the Aam Aadmi Party, and several other coming together. So that has somewhere given big arms and strengthened the arms of the Congress party. And there we see from Parliament, we're seeing all these Congress leaders and other opposition leaders are wearing black clothes. And here on street, different occasions, we are seeing these protests. So this has been happening for quite 3-4 days. And here they plan to carry out a torch protest from Red Fort to Town Hall, one of the most iconic places. And remember, Red Fort is very famous. When we've seen from the Red Fort, on every 15th August, we see the Prime Minister, different Prime Ministers have been addressing the nation. So this has a symbolic message in the protest to carry out. At least you are reaching here, giving out a message. But when it comes to law enforcement agency, there are, of course, different rules they have to maintain. the law and order, they have to maintain the traffic. But yes, as far as giving message through this protest is concerned, that is somewhere reached. They tried to reach at Red Fort. They tried to carry out a protest march which wasn't allowed, and at least they gave a, they were finally taken to the police station. They were detained. Harish Rawat in fact said, if they are going to arrest me, let them arrest. And of course, many of them who were somehow reached here now being detained.
Okay.
And now we see the area is under control. There is no absolute no reason to worry about situation, law and order. Everything remained calm. It was a symbolic protest.
Okay, so the Congress leaders who gathered there have in fact been detained. The protest has ended. Ashutosh, thank you for getting us that ground report. Let's move on to the other big political story of the day, the showdown over Rahul Gandhi's comments on Savarkar. It's led to a political storm in Maharashtra. Rahul Gandhi's taunt has left a deep split between, in fact, the Congress and their own allies. You've had Uddhav Thackeray making it very clear he's upset with Rahul Gandhi, and it's led to the intervention directly of NCP chief Sharad Pawar. Pawar reportedly has spoken to the Gandhis, and Rahul has been told not to go ahead and make such comments against Savarkar again.
राहुल गांधी सोचता है मेरा नाम सावरकर नहीं है, मेरा नाम गांधी है। गांधी किसी से माफी नहीं मांगता।
From the BJP to the Savarkar clan to even Rahul Gandhi's own political allies, they're all breathing fire on Rahul over this comment. Days after Rahul Gandhi's Savarkar salvo, the outrage refuses to die down, and it's fueled a full-fledged campaign in support of Savarkar's legacy. The ruling BJP Shiv Sena coalition launched a We Are Savarkar campaign, and leading from the front was Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, who even changed his Twitter profile photo.
ऐसे सावरकर जी का अपमान कोई सहन नहीं करेगा, इसलिए मैंने कल भी धिक्कार राहुल गांधी का किया है। आज भी मैं धिक्कार कर रहा हूँ, आज भी मैं उनका निषेध करता हूँ, और ये राज्य की जनता सावरकर देशभक्त का अपमान नहीं सहन करेगा।
These posters have come up in several suburban areas of Mumbai. These posters have been put up by Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha, and these posters are a clear indication that the political heat and temperature is only going to rise in the days to come.
Politically and otherwise, Rahul Gandhi is facing massive pressure to apologize for his comment. Savarkar's grandson has now shot off this warning to Rahul Gandhi.
Everybody knows he is not a Savarkar, because a Bitteldung cannot be a son. It is, everybody knows it. Bitteldung is always a Bitteldung. He cannot be a son. So whatever Rahul Gandhi is doing now is very childish, and above all it is for his political gain. So using the names of patriots to promote your politics is a very wrong thing, is a deplorable thing, and I demand action on it.
But the biggest salvo has come from Rahul's own allies, the Uddhav Sena faction, and even NCP chief Sharad Pawar. After Uddhav Thackeray made it clear that they will not tolerate any insult to the Hindutva ideologue, his Member of Parliament Sanjay Raut claimed the support of Sharad Pawar as well.
वीर सावरकर के बारे में हमेशा हमारे दिल में एक श्रद्धा की भावना रही है, तो बार बार उनका इस प्रकार से उल्लेख करना कि माफी मांगे ये गलत है, और डेफिनेटली हम ये मानते हैं कि वीर सावरकर जी का अपमान नहीं होना चाहिए।
The Uddhav faction also showed their displeasure by giving the opposition huddle in Parliament a skip, a clear indication that Rahul's comment could have far-reaching consequences for the Congress and any talk of opposition unity. Rahul Gandhi fired this very Savarkar salvo months ago during the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
अगर वो डरते नहीं, वो इसको कभी नहीं साइन करते, और इस सिग्नेचर में धोखा था। जब उन्होंने ये साइन किया, वो हिंदुस्तान के जो सब नेता थे, महात्मा गांधी, सरदार पटेल, उन सबको उन्होंने धोखा किया, और उन्होंने उनको कहा कि देखो तुम गलत कर रहे हो, तुम्हें भी साइन कर देना चाहिए। मैं सच्चाई बोलता हूं।
But it looks like he's learned no lessons from the outrage it triggered back then and the Mahadangal it's kicked